So if you've been watching any videos coming out of China lately, you've probably seen them, these little self-driving cars just zipping along sidewalks, cruising through university campuses. Now, they might look kind of like a cute novelty, but trust me, they are the face of a massive industrial revolution. Today, we're going to get into the really surprising story of why these little robots are suddenly absolutely everywhere.
All right, so to really get what's going on, we need to understand the problem these little robots are actually solving. And believe it or not, it all starts with a very human, very common standoff that happens millions of times a day.
If you scroll through Chinese social media, you will see this scene over and over again. It's a classic standoff, a building security guard facing off with a delivery rider. On one side, you've got guards who are just enforcing old building rules that were created long before anyone even dreamed of an e-commerce world. And on the other, you have a rider who's on the clock and just needs to get a package to someone's front door. And the result? It's just a mess. Total frustration. The rider's getting delayed, which means they're getting hammered with bad ratings from customers. The guard's just trying to do their job, right? So tempers flare, people start yelling. It's just this constant, daily point of friction that nobody wants. And then enter the peacemaker, the unmanned delivery cart. Seriously, the best way to think of it is like a smart locker on wheels. The delivery driver just drops the package inside the cart at the front gate, and the cart navigates the rest of the way by itself. Boom. The whole human drama totally bypassed. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't some tiny little pilot program. Nope. We are talking about a massive, full-scale national rollout. And the companies behind it? They're the biggest names in Chinese tech. Let's just look at the sheer scale of this. I mean, these numbers are just wild. You've got JD.com, the e-commerce giant, aiming for 50,000 of these carts by 2025. Meituan, the king of instant delivery, is shooting for 10,000 in just 3 years. And Alibaba, they're jumping in big time too. This is not dipping a toe in the water. This is an all-in, massive bet on automation.
And you can see why they're betting so big. The prize is, well, it's enormous. The regular package delivery market is already huge, but the real money, the holy grail, is instant delivery. We're talking food, groceries, whatever you need right now. And that market, it's projected to be almost double the size. Just a staggering amount of money on the table.
But hang on, here's the twist in the story. As big as that prize is, money isn't the main reason for this insane push into robotics. There's something much, much deeper going on here. We got to get to the true motive.
So you have to ask, right? Why are these companies pouring billions of dollars into building this technology from scratch?
Now, the obvious answer, the one everyone jumps to, is, oh, they're just trying to cut labor costs. And, sure, that's part of the equation. But it is absolutely not the main driver. Not even close.
In fact, people inside these companies will tell you, flat out, reducing delivery cost is one goal, but it's not the main objective. So what is it? Well, it's something way bigger. A massive challenge that could literally threaten their entire business.
All right, let's pull back the curtain and look at the real reason. This is the aha moment, and it connects to a huge national-level shift happening in China. And here it is, the big one. China's labor force is shrinking, and not by a little bit. We're talking a loss of over 3 million workers every single year. Just think about that. That's an enormous number of people just disappearing from the workforce year after year.
And if you don't believe me, just look at this timeline. It tells the whole story, crystal clear. China's working-age population hits its peak in 2012 and starts to fall. What happens just 3 years later? JD starts R&D on these robots. The very next year, Meituan jumps in. You think that's a coincidence? No way. They saw the demographic cliff coming.
So you see, this little car isn't about saving a few bucks on a delivery. It's about survival, plain and simple. For these companies that depend on millions of workers, automation isn't a luxury. It's an absolute strategic necessity if they want to exist in a future with a lot fewer people to do the work. And what happens when you have a massive national problem like this? You get a massive wave of innovation. This challenge has literally sparked an entirely new ecosystem, a whole new supply chain built for this automated future. And it's a pretty cool setup. You've got your upstream guys making the brains and eyes, the chips, the sensors. Then you've got the midstream folks who actually build the carts, and downstream you have the big players like JD and Meituan, who are basically the generals commanding this robot army. And right in that middle layer, the midstream, you find some really cool, innovative companies. Let's talk about one called Neolix, because these guys aren't just building delivery bots for other people. No, They're dreaming up entirely new ways to use them.
Okay, get this. They have a mobile vending machine. So imagine this little cart just cruising around a park. You're thirsty, you just wave at it. It literally sees you, rolls on over, you scan a code and grab your drink. And the best part? When it's running low, it just drives itself back to get restocked. How cool is that?
But they're not stopping there. They're also building unmanned kitchen cars. They're teaming up with huge brands like KFC and Pizza Hut to create these little mobile automated food stalls. They can just park themselves outside a subway station during the morning rush. It's literally bringing the store to you. So when you see all of this innovation, it leads to a really important conclusion about what actually matters in this new world of automation. So let's recap the benefits here, because there are a lot. They tackle the labor shortage head-on, they make delivery safer, they bring down costs over the long run. And, maybe most importantly for these companies, they get rid of the massive headache of managing millions of people.
But here is the single most important takeaway from all of this. The robot, the physical cart, that's not the real prize. The real priceless advantage is the know-how. It's the mountains of data, the hard-won experience you get from running thousands of these things in the chaotic real world. That's the secret sauce. You can't just go out and buy that.
And that leaves us with a really big question, not just for China, but for the future of automation everywhere. When it all shakes out, what's more valuable, the machine itself or the playbook on how to run an army of those machines at scale? Because whoever figures that out isn't just going to win the delivery wars. They're going to define the next era of technology.